thanks. Craig, what's your thoughts on the game and that start in particular, the first 20 minutes?
Yeah, obviously it was a great start, and we always want to start our games well, as everyone does. That first half was just a lead off of who held the ball and who got the penalties. So we had all the ball in the first 20 minutes of it, and a little bit longer, and then they had all the ball, the last 18, 17 minutes, and that's where the points come from. So I think we led the penalty 6-0 at one stage, and we completed nearly all our sets, and they had hardly any footy at all. But then it turned at the end of the first half, and so I think it went more. There was a lot more set for set in the second half, without a doubt. But we just wanted to make sure that the second half we wanted to start like we started the first half, and we knew it was going to, the possession was going to be a lot more even than it was in the first half, as far as not getting chunks, of the ball all the time. So I was really happy with our attack tonight. Which is, I think, we only scored one try in 2 weeks, and all of a sudden we'd score 7 tries tonight, and we completed 80%. The last 4 weeks we've been completing at 60-something%. So you don't have to be a rocket scientist to work out what works.
So do you take a bit of extra enjoyment from the second half then, where the guys were still turning the scoreboard over?
Yeah, I thought we defended better the second half. There's just a few little things that the first half we sort of struggle with, which we don't. That we probably haven't been struggling with defensively. But at half time we sort of sorted it out, and I thought we were a lot better defensively in the second half than we were the first half.
Goal line defence in particular, you must have been pretty pleased with that, holding up a few of those tries.
Yeah, I think I was a little bit disappointed the first time they got down there. They scored a try, So as I said, I think the first half I wasn't feeling particularly comfortable with our defence, inside our 20-30 metre area. But the second half, they got one try in the second half, but I think we're a lot better at that in the second half, and there were a couple of improvements that we had to, and wanted to make it in the second half.
How did you see the game, Cameron? You're happy with how things went?
I was extremely pleased with the way we started the game. There's no doubt about that. That's more like the the team that I know that we can be and that we want to be. But I agree with Craig. I'm a little bit disappointed with some of the efforts in defence. I'd probably say I was probably a each way bet on the goal line defence, where we made some special efforts to hold the Knights up. They got over a few times across our line. We held them up 3 times, I think. But a couple of their tries, they were pretty soft tries, I believe. They had to get the structure and the execution right, but I think we didn't sort of do too much to stop them either. But that's certainly something that we need to address quite quickly. One part of our game that we have very high standards on is our defence, particularly on our goal line. But apart from that, the energy tonight was very good. I think the mindset of the players was totally different to the last 2 weeks, where we knew that we weren't playing to our standard, we weren't playing to our capabilities, and probably everyone felt a little bit frustrated and felt a little bit of pressure to go out there and try and force the team to play well, or force themselves to play well, rather than just go out there and enjoy what we've done. And that was a message from Craig and the coaches this week. Just go out there and enjoy playing football together, and you've probably seen a lot more sort of expansive football played because of that tonight.
Jesse and Nelson were pretty huge early in the game. Cam, how much of a boost did that give the team?
Oh, it's always good when the big men are going forward and making it hard for the defence to get their line set and control them in the tackles. It certainly makes my job a lot easier. And those two boys really got our team away to a great start tonight, and they played a lot more like they did last year. For whatever reason, hasn't been that way in the first sort of month of the competition for us, but that was just a nice reminder, I think more so to themselves about their capabilities and what they can do for this footy side. There's no doubt. You know, when our big men play well and outplay the opposition, there's very few times where our team gets beaten.
Craig, how do you think Riley went? He seemed to play a solid game. And
Yeah, I think that sums up really good, you know, and with all due respect, you know, that'd be probably the, you know, if someone asked you to describe Riley Jackson on the footy field, that's what you'd say. He's solid, and you know what you're going to get from him each and every game. And but I thought he played. I thought he was a little bit more than solid tonight, to be quite honest. I thought he played really well for us. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see out of review how the other players thought he played. You know, with his talk and organisation. But from what I was seeing, I thought he played really well. And like I say, he was. It was a good part of our game tonight, you know. And having said that, you know, with Brody, you know, Brody's been there for that 5 weeks, and we haven't completed anywhere near like we did tonight, you know. So, you know, Riley's got on the back of that, and that's been real handy. So that's not criticising, you know, Crofty in any way, because, Crofty's been on the back of our really poor completion rate, and that makes it harder. But tonight, you know, I thought, you know, Riley done a great job for us, and but as I said, that was on the back of you know, really good completions. But having said that, you know, he defended well as well, so we were very happy. I was very happy with him tonight.
And a couple of big individual efforts. I think Young near the half time put a big tackle on. Everyone got around him, and obviously Billy on Ponga late in the game.
Yeah.
Two pretty clutch moments.
Old fella on young fella. Yeah, old fella got him this time round. Yeah, very, very special efforts, and that's something that we haven't been lacking in the first part of this year is effort and wanting to make a difference for the footy side. But you know, we made a conscious effort ourselves to make sure that, you know, we're positive about everything that happened in the game tonight, whether it was good or it went against us. But those two in particular were outstanding. You know, how many times have you seen Kalen Ponga face someone one-on-one and beat them and score a try? And then obviously Young's effort over on that edge was fantastic as well. So, but that's what's needed in our game. You know, that's what, when you need to make a special play like that, you need to do that for your teammates, and it's certainly much appreciated by everyone else.
Cameron, does Riley fit a little better right now, just being a couple of years older than Crofty and having been in the league and out of the league? Does he sort of fit a little better with the attack at the moment?
Well, they're two totally different players to start with. Let's get that out there. But yeah, he's an older player. He's more mature. He's got a more mature head on his shoulders. He's been around the game longer. You know, so certain moments in the game or certain plays, he doesn't tend to get as flustered. You know, but in saying that, Craig is dead set right. We haven't helped Crofty with the way we've played. You know, it's very hard as a number 7 in our game to come up with big plays when your team's not going forward, they haven't got field position, and we don't hold the ball. You know, that's on everyone. You know, Crofty hasn't been putting all the balls down. There's been some errors around him, but you know, who hasn't made errors in our team this year, particularly in those first 4 rounds? So it's not have a shot at Crofty night or anything like that. But you know, Jaxie played well tonight. You know, he delivered that for us last year as well. In the first half of the year where he's playing in our side, and yeah, we got good results around it. So we'll see what happens. I think Crofty's he's in a good frame of mind. You know, he was pretty energetic this week. You know, it's hard, you know, missing out on selection in the first grade side and having go play reserve grade, but he'll be better for it. You know, he'll go back there. I don't think he'll feel as much pressure on him to go up there. He'll just go back and play the way he can play. And then just a little reminder for himself that if he gets another opportunity in first grade, just to come and do that.
Craig, must have been good to see Big Sam put in probably his best game.
Yeah, without
a good run.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I thought that, you know, like Jess has always, you know, been really consistent for us, and I thought he was great tonight. But I thought, you know, Sam and Nelson, they probably haven't been where we'd like them to be the last couple of weeks. And again, that's a little bit on the back of what Cameron's saying with our control. But I thought they were great tonight, both of those. And that was certainly Sam's best effort. The thing he's got to be really consistent with now is, sort of putting that effort and being as effective without the ball as he is with the ball. So that's a little work on for him. But it was great to see him score that try tonight. Obviously he's a little bit of a crowd favourite, and obviously the guys really enjoy playing with him, and they really enjoy him. At training, he's a really good guy around the club. So it was great to see him play well tonight.
Cameron, Kalen Ponga, a pretty special young kid. How long does a kid like that, do you think, have to play in the NRL before they're maybe considered for Origin?
I think if you're the best person for the job, I think it doesn't matter how old you are or how much experience you've got. If you're playing well enough and you're the best person for that position in the team, then throw him in there. I got an opportunity to play State of Origin after 14 first grade games. So if he's playing well enough and he's the best person to play a role in the Queensland State of Origin team, then I can't see why you wouldn't select him.
Pretty handy young prospect to have coming through there, isn't
Well,
he?
he is, yeah. And Queensland's very lucky at the moment. We got a lot of special young talent running around in the competition at the moment, and he's certainly one of them. We obviously identified, well, Craig, we all knew he's a great player, but Craig identified him fairly early in the week that he's one man that we had to look out for tonight, and I thought we did a pretty good job on him for the most part. But you just seen when he got the ball, he's got some freakish ability about him, and that's something that I don't think's been coached. It's just natural talent. So if he keeps working hard at his training, which I've heard he's a good kid. He's very respectful around the Newcastle Knights club and works hard. So if he continues to do that, then I can only see his sort of star keep rising, and a representative opportunity will be around the corner pretty soon.
Craig, been win-loss. What part of the game do you...
There's a couple
of losses there as well. How do you, back this up? Do you focus on the first 20 minutes or the last 60 minutes, or...?
I focus on hanging on the ball. That's it. That's our issue. Again, I need to have a look at it. Sometimes what you see in the game, watching it live, you watch it the next day and you think exactly the same. Sometimes you see a few other things that you didn't notice, or you change your opinion on the game. So I need to have a look at that. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory. What we need to do is hang on to the footy. Because we've got some guys that can carry the ball. Like Munster, the last couple of weeks, he's been outstanding for us. So I don't think there's any, as I said, rocket science to us. We just need to hang on to the ball, and then if we need to do some things outside that, or change a couple of things there, we can do that. But that's a real basic thing we need to do, and we did it tonight. But we need to do it next week, and then the week after, and be consistent at it.
Momentum was a buzzword probably last season. Is that what you need now to sort of?
Obviously that's great if you can do it, but last season was a pretty special season. I think we only got beat 4 times or 5 times, whatever it was. So at the end of the day, that's really hard to do in this competition. So basically, what happened last year is last year, and this is a new team and a new season, a new adventure. So we got to get the things right for this year, not sort of look back. Oh, what did we do round 6 last year or round 7? We just got to go on what we see at the moment, what we think at the moment, what we're feeling at the moment, and try and be the best team this 2018 team can be, and not worry too much about 2017.